So one of the things I was tried to be really clear about in the book was that my only interest when it came to the book was in adolescent girls. And because they were making these changes at a time in their life that was so confusing, and because they seemed to have a lot of other mental health issues, and because teenagers don't know themselves all that well. And that's the reason we don't let them get tattoos and do all kinds of other things that might permanently alter them. But when it came to adults, I felt very differently. I felt that any free society had to allow adults to make decisions about themselves that other people might agree with, might disagree with. We certainly allow men to, and women to, take on ultra hazardous professions. We let them become loggers and roofers, even though to some of us that seems like a highly risky thing to do. And by the same token, I thought, whether someone wanted to medically transition, that was generally up to them if they were an adult. Now, I have come to know a lot of people in the course of writing a book who are transgender or adults, and I interviewed them for the book. And I was, I personally became convinced that many of them were leading good lives, and they were very comfortable with presenting to the world in this way. So, I didn't do a study on it, but having interviewed and gotten to know many transgender adults, many of them, decided to do this transition after a period of a lot of reflection, a good amount of life under their belts, and very often with a mental health professional, to having talked it through, they really came to the idea that this was right for them. So they underwent these profound surgeries that are extremely risky, but I think many of them came out the other end with a level of comfort that they said that they didn't experience before. Now, of course, I've also talked to people for whom the surgeries didn't go that well. These are very risky surgeries. So, there are surgeons who do, from what I understand, a superb job with them, but there are others who are willing to take on these highly lucrative surgeries and are not as skilled as they should be. So I knew that it was a very risky thing to especially put a teenager through, or a child, especially because they were so highly likely to regret.